What's happening? What up? What to do? That's for sure. But everybody in my city say, what up, doe? What up? What up, doe? What up? What up, doe? What's going on? Salute, salute, salute. We're gonna start it off like this. Copyright disclaimer under copyright section of under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for the fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Hold on, y'all. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing non-profit, educational, or personal use tips balance in favor of fair use, y'all. Fair use is in effect. Copyright disclaimer is in effect, y'all. Y'all heard me say it. Y'all saw me say it. You can't say I didn't. Sorry, y'all. All right. Any music you hear throughout this demonstration, folks, I do not own rights to it. It's not my music, y'all. It's not my music. All right. Shout out to the replay gang. You know, salute, salute, salute. Leave yours truly. And the biggest M. I know. You know, let us know what you think. Leave a comment. You know, we can agree to disagree. We can agree. We can just disagree. Whatever you want. You know. Also, my bushwatchers, yeah, y'all. I see y'all. You know, go ahead, drop down, fall down if you want, or don't. But while you're up there, take whatever finger you would like. Real smooth like, real cool like, and tap on that thumbs up button for yours truly and the biggest M. I know, you know. Like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. It's free 99, y'all. Yeah, it's all love too over here. It's all love. So, Zamar King the Third, y'all. He was 9 years old. His mother, Brandy Pierce, his biological mother. Allegedly, this is an open investigation right now. This case is an open investigation. So, allegedly, Brandy Pierce put 9-year-old Zamar King III in a shallow grave after she smothered him with a pillow, tied him up, put him in a wagon, and dragged the wagon outside and put him in the hole, and then buried him, and then left the state to Georgia. Well, actually, she went to Illinois, Wisconsin, and then down to Georgia. And then the Georgia authorities found her 3-year-old son in a car by himself, allegedly. This is all alleged. With feces all over him, with no diaper on, allegedly. That's how she was apprehended and extradited back to Michigan, allegedly. Yeah. She was back in court today. We were back in the courtroom. We're having a courtroom update. We've been in the courtroom for, we were in the courtroom twice in November, I do believe. And then we missed December. There's a lot going on. Yep. And we were back today. Yeah. Zamar King the Third is his name, y'all. So Brandy, when she got arrested in she got arrested in January, and Zamar King was found in October. So she got arrested and indicted in January. She didn't even she waived her right to her preliminary hearing. So, and that didn't happen until from January until November. What's the month? February, January, December. So 3 months ago, she just started going to court because she was not competent to stand trial. Then she was competent. Then she was deemed not competent again. And today, she's competent again. She's enough to stand trial. And they are talking about a deal. I really hope this don't go to trial. I really hope it don't. But we'll be back in the courtroom on March 3rd. Oh, hold on. Let me pull the paperwork up, actually. Don't quote me. Oh, March 20th. It's March 20th, 2026. But I'm still going to pull the paper up. Give me 1 second, y'all. And then we're going to... I mean, the news probably... The news hasn't updated us since November. But they did request for the media to be at the trial. The trial starts April 20th, 2026. So give me 1 second. All right. Here we go. So here's Brandy's paperwork. She's got 5 charges she's being charged with. 1 count of homicide. Second count, homicide, felony, red rum. Third count, child abuse, first degree. Fourth count, tampering with evidence. Fifth count, concealing the F of an individual. By golly. Yeah, see, this shit didn't get bounded over for months. How many prelims they had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn. This case right here. I mean, let's just talk about it. I mean, actually, Brandy was known to be mentally ill. She was known to get mental health treatment almost daily. So, I don't know. I mean, this paperwork, look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just it right there. 6. And that's over there in the 36th district. And it took over 6 hearings to bound it over to the circuit court. That's why when she was arrested, it took 8 months for her to get bounded over. But again, it's just weird because, again, she said she was mentally ill. They say she's mentally ill. But y'all, I'm just confused, I guess. But we just gonna listen and keep showing up for Zamar and being the voice for Zamar King III. If y'all see right here, final conference was today at 9 o'clock. It was supposed to be the 16th of January, but it was reset to today. And then again, like I said, we will be back in the courtroom at the 20th of March at 1 p.m. for a final conference, which today was supposed to be a final conference. And then if not, we'll be they'll be selecting the jury at 9 a.m. with Paul Kuzik, April 20th, 2026. There's the paperwork right there. There's the black and white, the good old facts, you know. We like the facts, you know. They can be a little boring, I know, but it's the facts. So let's just go ahead and recap so we can, so people, if you tune into my channel and you never have, what's going on, so you ain't lost in the sauce. Because, I have a lot of videos, and a lot of videos privated. So let's remember Zamar King and listen to allegedly what happened. And allegedly how Zamar King, y'all, 6 months before he was unalived by his mother, he told CPS in Detroit that his mother chokes him, hits him with a belt, and was gonna ill him. And he hadn't been to school in a year, allegedly. And 6 months later, that's just what Brandy Pierce did. Allegedly. By golly. Zamar King III, y'all, is his name. 9 years old. May he rest in peace.
Is miss blaring warnings that could have saved the life of a 9-year-old Detroit boy.
His remains were found buried in a backyard at a home in January. The boy's mother was charged with his murder on February 5th.
7 investigator Ross Jones is revealing internal CPS records, raising serious questions about what officials did and did not do when they heard alarming claims about the child's safety.
We identified some human remains, someone small in stature. Extremely sad day.
The scene at Woodingham and St. Martin's in Detroit was enough to shake even career police officers. The body of a child found buried in a shallow grave.
This case is rather shocking. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this.
It took days for officers to determine that the boy was 9-year-old Zamar King, murdered, prosecutors say, by his mother, Brandy Pierce.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together. She then put him in this hole and covered him with dirt.
But as unspeakable as the alleged crime was, it did not come out of nowhere.
It's just a train wreck that's going to happen, right? You just see it coming, and they don't do anything about it.
By law, records from Children's Protective Services are guarded closely, even after a child dies. But we've obtained internal CPS records that show state employees were warned for years that Zamar was in danger. At least 4 times, records show, Brandy Pierce was the subject of CPS complaints, the first coming in 2015, after Pierce admitted to marijuana and alcohol use during her first trimester. It happened, she said, before she decided to keep Zamar. There were complaints in 2019 and 2021, both alleging that Zamar had been left alone. The first time in the lobby of a Southfield apartment building, with Zamar telling police he did not know where he belonged. Police later made contact with a relative, and the complaint was denied. 2 years later, on a 78-degree day in May, Zamar was left alone in his mother's locked car for more than 90 minutes while she went to a doctor's appointment. She told police her son was a heavy sleeper and claimed doctors wouldn't let him into her appointment.
It's the pattern, right? Here is a mom, again, where she's repeatedly reported by different people in the community.
Frank Vandervoort is a law professor at the University of Michigan and a longtime child welfare advocate who said Pierce's pattern of behavior and the disclosure that she was receiving mental health services on an almost daily basis should have been a red flag to CPS.
That suggests to me a very severe level of mental health need. So I'm troubled by that, and it raises more questions than it answers for us.
The Macomb County prosecutor denied a warrant request for child abuse, saying there was insufficient evidence and CPS working with mom. CPS would close the case after performing a home visit, finding no safety hazards, enough food, and suitable sleeping arrangements. Then, last April, came the fourth complaint to CPS. This time, Pierce would come here to this Plymouth Hospital emergency room, reporting she was anxious and depressed. Pierce told CPS she had a breakdown and felt herself going into a panic attack. She was questioning whether she should give up custody of one of her children. She'd been evicted from a motel, she said. Her car was repossessed. She was completely out of funds. Once she left the hospital, she and her kids would be sleeping on the street.
On its own, how serious is that?
Critical. This is a family with no place to live. She tells the caseworker, I can't sleep in my car, which suggests to me that she's been sleeping in her car at some points.
But what Zamar told CPS was most alarming of all. He had not been to school in over a year, he said, and doesn't always have food to eat. He said his mother beat him with a belt, that she's choked him with her hands, and that she wants to kill him.
Any rational, normal person walking out on the street hearing this would be completely alarmed by what they're hearing. They would take action. They would call the police.
But what CPS did, according to internal records, was close the case. The investigation found no preponderance of evidence of physical neglect. Pierce was provided with pamphlets connecting her with community services, and a note was added to follow up on her mental health appointments. 6 months later, after Zamar reported that his mother choked and wanted to kill him, prosecutors say she did.
It's alleged that she killed him and that the cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
CPS records show that the family was placed at a homeless shelter after that final complaint last April. It is not clear how long they were there. Then in December, Brandy Pierce was found in Georgia. She was arrested after someone reported finding her other child, a 3-year-old, locked in a car alone. Police said temperatures were in the 40s, the child was nude, and there was feces and a deflated air mattress in the vehicle. Citing state and federal law, CPS said they could not comment on this case, but they are heartbroken by Zamar's death and are committed to ensuring the health and safety of all children. Tonight, Zamar's relatives are trying to pay for his burial. They have started a GoFundMe, and we have included a link where you can donate on our website right now.
That's all allegedly. But over a year later, we are still in the proceedings of court, and Ms. Pierce is headed to trial in one more final conference, according to the public record paperwork. Let's keep listening. Let's hear from Zamar King's father.
What up, what up, what up? It's Coney Island Chronicle, and we off into like, comment, subscribe. All right. Coney Island Chronicle with your man Antonio, Derek Brown, Zamar King's father. We here at Cantrell's funeral home, about to do some things that I hope you never have to experience it, and it's going to get your child's death certificate. So we serious content over here, real life, and we're going to sit down and talk as promised on Coney Island Chronicle. Peace. Man, this is fucked up. So this is the actual spot, cuz? This the actual spot, the house. right here, behind that garage.
So he was behind that shed. This right back there.
Yep, back there between the gate and the garage.
A hole right there.
Allegedly, that's where the body of Zamar King, 9 years old, was found by the landlord of the house on the west side of Detroit. 9 years old. By his mother. Biological mother, y'all. Allegedly. Again, this is an open investigation. So this one, y'all, we got to keep our feelings to the side. Let's keep listening. Not reacting. Listening.
A house of horror.
You got it on? Fucked up shit is I gotta come and see where my son just, where he died at. A piece of me. And I just can't believe it. I'm right here where my son, Zamar King, died at. His mama killed him. I'm his father, Derek Brown. It's hard to just stand here to just realize that this is where my son last.
Real quick, he says that it's hard to stand there as a father. I'm just analyzing his words and his actions. That's all I'm doing as we watch. Noted and noted.
Place. A lot of people maybe want to know where was the daddy. I'm gonna tell you like this. She knew how to get in contact with me if she was feeling any type of way. She could have told me. She could have gave my son up to me. If she would have let me know she was back here in time, she could have let me know and say, come and get him. And now I feel like she just took his life away and I had to step up and do the funeral and everything. It's hard to lose a child, and this grief never gonna go away.
So we back live, Coney Island Chronicle. Actual footage right here, and Cuz, do you got something that's planned?
Yeah, I got a balloon release.
And that's when?
Sunday. This Sunday coming up.
What time, Cuz?
4 o'clock. I want to release his spirits
and celebrate his life. I mean, please come and help support me. Come out and celebrate his life and release some balloons in his name. Zamar.
And that's going to be on Woodingham, 17,000 block. Woodingham, 17,700 block. Woodingham.
17,700.
No, 19,000.
19,700.
Yeah, 19,700 block of Woodingham. Come on out, show some support. Appreciate you. And we'll be back with some more Coney Island Chronicles. R.I.P. Mr. King. R.I.P.
So, again, this is an open investigation, so we have to keep our emotions aside. So that's what his father had to say and show us. I couldn't find anything about a balloon release. Zamar King the third.
It's about time I made Marvel Rivals the most hero-packed shooter ever, but first some hot redheaders trying to blast my ass a few new holes.
He didn't deserve this. He already stated what was going on in the house.
6 months before Zamar King would be found buried in a Detroit backyard, he told a Children's Protective Services caseworker that his mother, Brandy Pierce, beat him with a belt, choked him with her hands, and wanted to kill him.
Zamar King was a 9-year-old child who was treated like he was a piece of garbage. The callousness with which the defendant treated Zamar cannot be understated.
Tonight, Zamar King.
I just want to say this, yes. Tina Ripley, is the prosecutor on this case. Shout out to Tina Ripley. Shout out to Tina Ripley. She's Brandy Pierce, lawyer, is a court-appointed lawyer from, is it Neighborhood or Good Neighbor Defenders or whatever downtown, Detroit. I really hope this don't go to trial. Remember Zamar King III, y'all. That's his name. He was 9 years old. May he rest in peace.
His father sits in disbelief. How, he asks, could state watchdogs not protect his son after what he told them?
I don't expect that because I respect that CPS will take action.
Derek Brown only learned Zamar was his son through his death. A DNA test after they found his body confirmed it. Derek had been in a relationship with Brandy Pierce a decade earlier, but said they lost touch until about 2 years ago, when he says Pierce showed up out of the blue with Zamar.
I wanted to meet with you so I could tell you this is your son.
This picture is from the day they met, when Brown said Pierce made him an offer.
She told me that I could take them. She'll switch everything to me. I asked her, is something wrong? She said no, she just feel that she took on a lot.
Brown said he agreed to take Zamar, but wanted to take a DNA test first. They scheduled one for the following week, but Pierce later canceled it, he said, and left for California.
Did you ever see Zamar again?
No.
2 years later, a CPS caseworker would be called to this Plymouth hospital after Pierce arrived in the midst of a mental health crisis. She said she was homeless, questioning whether she should give up custody of one of her boys. That's when Zamar told CPS the family often had no food, he hadn't been to school in a year, and that his mother beats him. But a CPS caseworker concluded there wasn't enough evidence to substantiate a neglect complaint. The family was placed in a homeless shelter, and the case against Pierce was closed. Tonight, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services will not say whether that caseworker is under investigation or facing any discipline.
Not every time a government employee makes a mistake or does something wrong, does the government then prosecute them.
Golly, I have to step in. CPS in Michigan. I've heard that same thing. Wait, I lost count. It'd be different if it was one time. It's been several times you failed families in Detroit, Michigan. You failed my family. CPS in the 50s. Detroit CPS. 1950s CPS. Been failing. It's not just one time. What are you talking about? It's not one time. It's diabolical in Michigan. Children of Hope. Thanks for pulling up on yours truly. I never seen you over here before. Hope you're being smooth, cool, and true. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you hit that like button for yours truly in the biggest M. I know, you know. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you again. Again, it's not been one time. CPS in Michigan. Wow. 10 years ago, Michelle Blair. Same. Several documents they showed on the news. Adonse France. 5 years ago in Detroit. Several CPS cases. Took her children even out of her care. And gave them back. And then she unalived her son. This isn't alleged. She was charged. Killed 2-year-old Chase Allen. And then he was blind, and then put him in the freezer. CPS gave the children back to her. Zanaya. We know all them documents. They couldn't even put her last name in the report. And they always come out and say, we are not allowed to make a statement. We're not allowed to take accountability. We're not allowed to make a statement. Every single one of those cases, it says the exact same thing. We cannot make a comment. We cannot let you know if the worker's been fired. Why not? Anytime anything else happens in any other shit, it's a story. But again, see, I don't know. If I just know in the 50s, CPS failed my family too. And again, 10 years ago, Michelle Blair. 5 years ago, Adonse France. That's just off the top of my head. But there's many stories going back years, 1950s. CPS has not been doing their job in Michigan. So you cannot say one time, my dude. I have to stop you there. Let's keep listening. Rest in peace, Zamar King III. He was 9 years old, y'all. 9. Y'all remember We couldn't wait to hit that landmark. We would be double digits, you know. I did. I thought it was going to be so cool when I turned 10. I was going to be double digits, you know. That was one of our special birthdays, or curse day, you know, if you believe in birthdays, whatever day. But 10. A lot of us won't make it to triple, you know. That would be, you know, 100 for those in the back, you know. So it's pretty special to turn that double digit. And our boy, he was 9. He didn't even get to make it to double digits. Allegedly by the hands of his mother that carried him for 9 months, gave birth to him. That's deep. Man, let's keep listening.
However, there are certain circumstances, at least the issue should be reviewed. And this is one of those cases.
Matthew Schneider is a former U.S. Attorney for Michigan's Eastern District, and before that, he was Deputy Attorney General for the state.
There is not a doubt in my mind, if I were still the Deputy Attorney General, I would be looking for the reports in this case. I would want to know what happened. And should law enforcement get heavily involved in investigating and looking at this case and contemplating whether or not charges should be brought.
Schneider says there are 2 charges a prosecutor would most likely consider. Willful neglect of duty, a misdemeanor charge that was brought against Rick Snyder and others as part of the Flint water crisis, and misconduct in office, a felony charge that carries up to 5 years in prison. There is no sign tonight that either the Attorney General or the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office are reviewing how CPS handled this case.
The facts are is that the little boy is telling the CPS worker, I'm getting whooped with a belt. I don't have a place to live. I don't get enough food to eat. I don't feel safe all the time. And it looks like the system broke down.
Whether criminal charges are brought won't mean much to Derek Brown. Earlier this month, he buried the son he only recently learned was his, and says he can't shake the thought of the 9-year-old's final cries for help.
I would have took him with no question asked.
I'm going to just say this. I did it. Them 2 pictures. Those are the only. Again, we've been covering this case for a year, y'all. I have. And those are the only 2 pictures I've seen of Zamar King III. Wow. Maybe they're just really private. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, they're private. Probably. I don't know. Everybody agrees different. But in a year, I have not seen any a lot of, I don't know, a lot of coverage. Again, the media has not even covered this story since November, which we're going to take a look at her at the prelim in a minute. Prayers for Zamario. Rest in peace, Zamar King III. Forever 9. Forever 9. Fly high, man.
If he would have said all that, I would have found ways to take him.
We reached out to Brandy Pierce's attorney for comment, but did not hear back. According to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, Pierce was just referred for a competency evaluation and won't be back in a courtroom until May. I'm Ross Jones, 7 News, Detroit.
Tonight, an update on the heartbreaking story of 2 young siblings.
He didn't deserve this. He already stated what was going on in the house.
6 months before Zamar King would be found buried in a Detroit backyard, he told a Children's Protective Services caseworker that his mother, Brandy Pierce, beat him with a belt, choked him with
Roll with us.
Download the Hard Rock Bet Casino app today.
Calling case number 250-556-7401. This is the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brandy Catrice Pierce, who's charged with count 1, homicide, murder, first degree premeditated. Count 2, homicide, felony murder. Count 3, child abuse, first degree. Count 4, tampering with evidence. And count 5, concealing the death of an individual. Will the parties please identify themselves for the record?
Good morning, Your Honor. Ripley on behalf of the people, P83688.
And good morning, Your Honor. May it please this most honorable court. Kim Michon, Neighborhood Defender Services, P59167. It is my pleasure to represent Ms. Pierce. Ms. Pierce, would you please be gracious enough to state your name for the record, dear?
Brandi Patrice Pierce.
Your Honor, Ms. Pierce and I have had a lovely conversation regarding the nature of a preliminary examination, in that the people only need to prove by mere probable cause that a crime has been committed and that she may be involved in that matter. Understanding that she wishes to freely and voluntarily exercise her right to waive her preliminary examination, understanding she will be bound over the circuit court on the charges in the complaint and the warrant, I do not believe Ms. Ripley has any objection.
A.P. Ripley?
We have no objection.
All right. With that, Ms. Pierce, can you please raise your right hand for me, ma'am? Do you solemnly swear that any testimony you give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your right hand, Ms. Pierce. Thank you. Ms. Pierce, is it your desire today to waive your preliminary examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Pierce, I want to make sure that you do understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination if you'd like to do so. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you were to have a preliminary examination regarding this matter, the prosecution would have to establish via a probable cause standard, 1, that a crime was committed, and 2, that it's likely that you committed that crime. They would do so by presenting evidence and testimony. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
By waiving your right to a preliminary examination today, the prosecution will no longer have to provide testimony and evidence at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And knowing that, you would still like to waive your preliminary examination today?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Now, even though you are waiving your preliminary examination, Ms. Pierce, you are not waiving your right to a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Pierce, has anyone threatened you to get you to waive your preliminary examination today?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything to get you to waive your preliminary examination today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the representations I've heard from the defendant today, I believe the waiver has been done knowingly, voluntarily, and with full understanding. And for that reason, Ms. Pierce, you will be bound over as charged, and you will now be arraigned on the information before the circuit court on the date of November 11th of 2025. I'm sorry, November 12th of 2025 at 9 a.m. Anything further?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so very much for your time and consideration.
All right.
No, thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
A local grandma.
Again, hold on, y'all. Let me share my screen. Man, I'm tired, y'all. Yours truly is tired. Yes, I'm tired. Back to this, Jack. Hold on. Someone say yes if y'all can hear me. Or I'll go look, actually. Thank you, Kim Cole. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, somebody. Thank you, Kim Cole, for that. All right, y'all. So I just want to point out the fact that, let me go back up. So let me count these. So we have, these are pre-exam hearings, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 8th one, which we just heard, Judge Sean Jacques, that was on 11-4. We finally had a prelim. So on the 8th time, what? And that was them arguing if she was competent enough to stand trial or not. And then we just heard her seeking, I'm going to just say that, mental help and treatment, and was getting mental treatment daily. When we went to court on the 12th of November, we were back at, she isn't competent enough to stand trial. We missed the hearing. I missed the hearing in December. I did. So I don't know what happened because the media isn't covering this case. So I can't speak on it. I just know today we had court again, which yours truly was able to make it to that hearing. And we're moving forward. She is competent enough to stand trial. But, she did waive her right to a preliminary. And I don't know if you guys, I know Kim has been tuning in. But here in Michigan, especially Detroit, they give out pleas. We were just shocked. We were just rocked by Detroit. By the plea that they were offered Jarvis Butts. And the plea that he just accepted. With nobody. So, we know all the details that happened to Zamar King. I mean, his body was found in a shallow grave. That is a fact. I mean, in the case, his body was in a shallow grave. Please don't take this to trial. Please don't take this to trial. And again, they love to give out pleas in Michigan. So I see a plea. Again, in the talks that I heard, I do see a plea coming. But I really do not want to sit in this trial, y'all. But I will for Zamar. But that on the eighth try, that's crazy to me. And let's just look at it one more time. 8 different hearings. 8 different pre-exam hearings. You don't see that, that's not normal. I mean, I'm no law student, nor a lawyer, just yours truly. But that's the paperwork, y'all. You're not supposed to have 7 pre-exam. That's just not normal. But I don't know. Again, I'm no law student. Just yours truly.
January 6, 2025, a cold, quiet morning, a construction crew arrives at a rental home on Woodingham Drive. Just another day on the job. But what they find in the backyard stops them cold, buried beneath the earth.
And I can say this, though. What I can't stand about the media coverage, the landlord found them, the construction workers found them, they don't know. Who? Joe Blow? Mo? It's crazy work. Just know Zamar King was found in a shallow grave. Okay? Just know that. It doesn't matter who found him. His mother didn't protect him.
Was a foot, a small, pale foot, sticking out of the frozen soil. The silence of that morning shattered. What followed would become one of the most disturbing child murder cases Detroit has ever seen. At the center of it all, a mother, and the son she was supposed to protect. His name was Zimar King III, 9 years old, quiet, polite, barely seen by anyone. Neighbors said they sometimes saw a toddler with the mother, but never Zimar. Never. No school buses, no playtime, no laughter. Just a little boy living in silence. In October 2024, Zimar vanished. Police say his mother, Brandy Pierce, killed him. And not in a fit of rage. Not by accident. But with intent. Zimar's autopsy revealed the cause: neck compression and smothering. His hands and feet were tied, bound. After killing him, Brandy didn't panic. She bought a shovel, she walked to the backyard, and she dug a grave behind the garage. A shallow one, just deep enough to hide him, but not forever. Then she packed up, took her surviving child, a 3-year-old, and fled Michigan, gone. And the most horrifying part, no one even knew Zimar was missing. No alert, no search. It was as if he had never existed. Weeks passed. Then, in December, Brookhaven, Georgia, police respond to a strange call. A toddler, naked, sitting alone in a cold car. No adult in sight. Nearby, they find the mother, trying to sell her plasma. That woman was Brandy Pierce. And as officers start digging into her background, they discover something far more chilling. A child, her son, unaccounted for. Back in Detroit, the pieces come together. On January 6th, the renovation crew uncovers the body behind the garage. The grave is small, the child inside, decomposed, tied. Dental records confirm the identity: Zimar King III. He had been buried for nearly 3 months. On January 10th, 2025, Brandy Pierce is arrested. She now faces charges of first-degree murder, felony murder, child abuse, tampering with evidence, and concealing a death. Her toddler is now in foster care. Neighbors are stunned. Many said they barely saw the family. Some didn't even know a second child lived there. But one thing echoed from all their voices: grief, confusion, outrage. Why wasn't anyone looking for this boy? Why did no one report him missing? Wayne County Prosecutor Kim Worthy, a veteran of thousands of cases, said this crime was one of the most horrifying she's ever seen. The horrors of this case, she said, defy what I thought I had seen. Zimar never got to tell his story, not while he was alive, and for months, not even in death. He was a child, no record, no trouble, just a quiet boy, forgotten in the shadows. And that's the real tragedy, not just what happened, but how no one saw it coming, how no one checked, how silence swallowed him whole. If you ever feel something's wrong, say something, ask questions, check in, speak up, because silence can kill.
You know, Kim Worthy, is that like your line? Because that's what you say every time. We're going to come back in a little bit, y'all, and I'm going to show you how many times in an hour and a half, Detroit, CPS, how many times Kim Worthy has seen such a horrendous case. And see if y'all start to scratch your head like me. But oh yeah, don't worry. It'll be we'll probably need more time, but I'ma just time. We're gonna only do an hour and a half, and I bet you we eat up every motherfucking minute of that hour and a half listening to several different cases with this several different with all the same words, all the same words. Again, me and Tina Ripley are on Face. We on Face. We know each other. These judges and me, we getting face to face like this. Yeah. Cause I'm gonna keep being in that courtroom. It's diabolical in Detroit, yo. The way they've covered this story, we can't even get. I couldn't even get an update because I missed the hearing in December. I have to go off the paperwork, which that's factual enough for me. But again, can we get an update to the media? I mean, from the news. Can Zamar's name be remembered? News. But they put in, if y'all seen on that paperwork, they definitely put in a request for the trial. The media's request for the trial is already in. Media, can we get an update? What if it don't go to trial? Make it make sense. We got to do better, Detroit. We got to do better. But we're going to end it. We're going to come back and I'm going to show y'all. As soon as I get off, I'm going to work on it. And I already know. I already got 7 in my head. That we're going to see paper after paper after paper. Report, not paper. Report after report after report. And CPS can't comment at this time. Don't be mad at me, y'all. But I'm going to show y'all better than I can tell you ever. You know, like always. I'm going to show y'all better than I can tell you. So in my Winnie the Pooh voice, you know. You're smarter than you think. You're braver than you believe. And you're stronger than you seem. Feel it in my heart every time, y'all. Every motherfucking time. It's all love over here, y'all. It's real over here. And it's real smooth, cool, and true over here. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all be smooth, y'all be cool, y'all be true. Or don't. But until next time. In my big M voice. Peace. Zamar King III is his name. 9 years old. Fly high, buddy. And you know, in the good book, our Father says he's the ones that he takes at a young age, he's protecting them from evil. He's in a better place. But he still needs justice. Father, we need you, and we will be okay. Father, we need you to heal families today. Yes, we do. Father, can you hear me? I'm calling on your Now, Buddha, no Muhammad.
But it's Jesus we cry out loud. Father, just forgive us. Hear us when we say, forgive our lives and souls today.
Father, you know we need it. I've never seen so much pain. We have the faith for now. Your victory we will gain. Let's go. Zamar King the Third. We're ready. Just believe, y'all. Zamar King the Third, Forever 9. Can you hear even me, Lord? See, I'm coming to you, Lord, just as I am. I'm in need of the blood of the Lamb. Oh, my Do you believe? All you gotta do, I believe. Justice for Zamar King III. Zamar King III, 9 years old. 9 years old. Rest in peace. Somebody say yeah.